Hi everyone, and welcome back to Keepsakes by Patty Cakes. I thank you so much for joining me today. A little out of my comfort zone, but I promised you a Q&A for my 1 year anniversary. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by answering the questions. And I have some notes here, and I keep forgetting where to look. I've never done this before where I've taped myself, so I apologize. Catherine Hawks had asked, how do you pull together the pieces for your journal? Do you plan and pull things together first, or do you just start with a kit and then add to it as you go along? I can say that I kind of find a kit that I really like, and then I will go from there and figure out how I want to make it. But usually with the pieces that go in it and how I want to do it, I kind of plan that before I do my videos. I hope that answers your question. But I also have started pulling some sewing pieces together, and like wedding stuff and fairy books and things like that for future videos. So I just kind of take my inspiration from watching other people do their journals, and what their pieces are, and I watch quite a few channels. So the next question, a couple questions, is from Sandy Garrett, and she asks, how did you get into junk journals? Well, I never really knew what YouTube was all about. I didn't realize all the different stories and things because I didn't get my own nice cell phone until probably about 3 years ago. And let me see, I was originally on YouTube to look for micro macrame patterns when I was doing that. And I just came across somebody doing a video on a junk journal. And I can't remember even to this day who it was. I have a pretty bad memory, but there were quite a few people that I watched at the time. And as you had said, you had started out with scrapbooking and mini albums first, and then you jumped down the rabbit hole. That's what I did. When I saw junk journals, I was like, you know what, the micro macrame was really hard on my eyes because you're working with such small, cording and such. So when I saw, the junk journals and how you could express your creativity in doing that out of, junk or beautiful papers, laces, that just, the bug bit me. You asked if I started out with other paper crafts first. I didn't. I've tried all different kinds of crafts, which, I listed in my bio if you haven't seen that. But no, I didn't do any paper crafts. So when I started out, I had absolutely nothing. And it just kind of built from there. Oh, and please excuse my background. I don't have my cabinet's empty right now because I just moved it all to my curio cabinet. So, and I have a lot of crafting mess behind me, I see. But I don't have a craft room. I craft in my kitchen. So I hope that answers your question, Sandy. The next questions and challenge for me was from Deborah Day. Hi, Deborah. She challenged me to do a little journal with no printables. Now, that one is really out of my comfort zone because I haven't done that before. So I'm thinking after the holidays that I'm going to give that a go. And then she said she would also like to learn how to make spine dangles and mini micro macrame embellishments to hang off the spine or tab, which is very interesting. So I will also do that after the holidays for you. She asked, what is my favorite quote? And I have to say, there's been so many that I've really liked through the years, but one of them that I really liked was from Maya Angelou. I'm not sure if I pronounced her name right. Excuse me if I have it wrong. But it is, we may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. And the reason why it's my favorite quote is it talked about that she once said that all my work, my life, everything is about survival. She talks about her work, and I related it to my health and chronic pain. And she goes on to say, in fact, the encountering may be the very experience which creates the vitality and the power to endure. And that just, really hit me because, you know, without what I've been through and after all my diagnosis of different health issues in my brain surgery, when you, and I also have depression and anxiety and other health issues, but a lot of us in the junk journal community or even artists all have health issues. But, I would have to say that I've met, because of it, so many wonderful people that shared, the same health issues as me. When I first was diagnosed back in 2006, when I had my surgery, I went on to different groups to spread awareness and try to spread awareness on my Facebook. And actually, one of my friends who I went to high school with is a nurse, and she was able to help the doctor out in diagnosing someone who actually had Chiari. And all the time, all I kept thinking was, if I could just help one person. And I did, and that was just amazing. And I've also found since my surgery, because I didn't know if I was going to make it or not, that I find that I have more compassion and empathy now. And had it not been for my health, I would not have had the opportunity to stay at home and create when I can and share with all you beautiful people that are here with me. So there are so many other blessings too. I mean, there's too many to count because, another thing, like, it makes you reflect and make better choices, and it's made me more grateful and appreciative of what I have. Sometimes I need reminded, but yeah, so I kind of went on a tangent on that question. Sorry about that. And then she also asked, what is my favorite Bible verse and why? And, I know a lot of people memorize verses and, for lack of a better word, do meditation and read the Bible. And I have, because of the brain disorder that I have horrible memory issues. Like I can read a book and a couple days later I won't remember it. But I know with age too, a lot of people do that, but mine's just a little bit more. And so, anyways, there's so many quotes, but I thought about it, and I'm going to have to say my favorite quote right now in my life is Revelation 21, verse 4. And I think I have it bookmarked here in my Bible. Okay. And it says, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." Which, talks about, when it talks about that, it gives me hope. When you live with chronic pain every day, you need to have some hope, and you need to have that trust in God to carry you through. And that's why that verse really, sticks with me. So, I hope that answered your question. The next one is very difficult. She asked, what is my favorite journal making tool? And, I don't really have a favorite, because I like it all. But I think I'm going to say one of my favorite things would have to be my sewing machine, or a needle and thread. I like using both of those in my journal making, which I don't as much as I'd like to. But I also like my Sizzix Big Shot, and of course my digital papers. So the next question is, that's why I'm giggling, because she asked, what is my favorite paper to use besides Digis? I'm going to have to say any vintage or antique books. But I do have a new one that I got recently that I wanted to make a journal out of for myself, because I'm finding that I want to make a journal this year. I'm looking at the wrong place, I know. I want to make a journal this year for myself, just for writing, and no ephemera. And this is the paper here. I'm trying to see if you can see it, and it's all decal edged, and it's like a, I don't know if this one's, let me see if it was handmade or I think it is made with watercolor paper. But I'll just take a piece out and show you. The feeling of this is so amazing, and it's so soft on the edges. And this has to be handmade, because I'm just, unless the paper's stuck to this one, you can see this like white spot in there, and it's like sticking out. Oh, I lied. It's just a little piece of paper. But yeah, I really like this paper too. But my favorite has to be old books. Old books, all for the win. Okay. The next question is from Dream with Caroline. And she had asked me to show how I made my shaker tags. And I'm assuming she means with my Big Shot. So I'm going to do that in the next video and show what it looks like and how to use it and the dies that you can use with it and embossing folders. And she also asked, where can you find the plastic see-through paper that I use? I have it here. And what this paper is called is acetate. And it came in a package like this. It is in a roll. And I just keep it in here to, you know, keep it nice and clean and all. And it just is about, I think, 6 inches wide. And what this one is, you can buy, this one is almost 6 inches. You can buy this in sheets, acetate sheets. But I bought this one because I felt it was a lot cheaper because I didn't need full sheets. I had actually bought full sheets a while back. I take that back. And they were thicker. But I really like this one, and I got it on Amazon. So that's where you could find it. And it's called a cake color. And yeah, it says 6 inches, 10 meters of cake color. And it was made in China, but yeah, that's what it is. And that was all the questions. So I just thought I'd take a moment and share with you and tell you a little bit about myself. I'm pretty much an open book, so if you ever want to ask me any questions, please feel free to. And you can ask me in the comment section, or you can ask me via email if you want to in private. But I am 54 years old. I am the mother of one. I have a son. His name is Chris. Full name, Christopher. He is 26 years old, and he is married and has 3 children, 3, 2, and 1. Such cuties. I think I shared a picture on my Instagram if y'all haven't been over there yet. Let's see, Rod is my fiance, and we've been together going on 11 years next year. And let's see, my parents are divorced. I think they divorced when I was 10 or 11, but they got married, I think 4 or 5 years before I was born. My mom is Japanese, and she lived in Japan when my dad met her. He was in the military, and they had my oldest brother in Japan, and then they had my next brother in Georgia when my dad was stationed in Georgia. And then they wouldn't let my dad re-enlist. He was oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it. Cryptographer, that's what it was. He was a cryptographer, and he wanted to re-enlist as, I think it was cryptographer repair or something like that. So I forget, he was only one of like very few that knew how to do that in the world back then. And what was my point? Oh, so they didn't let him re-enlist because that was when they were getting people to go to Vietnam. So, and they didn't want him to go there because they knew he had a family and, you know, was married. So, that ended his career. He was planning on, you know, spending his life in the Army. But anyways, they end up moving to the States because my grandparents lived here and his brothers. And my dad is part Czechoslovakian, and I can't remember the rest at the moment. I did that 21andMe test, so I have the breakdown, but yeah. And Rod has 3 daughters, and trying to think of anything else. I have 2 cats right now. I did have 3 dogs and 5 or 6 cats, but they were all outdoor cats except for one, and only one of the outdoor cats survived. We do have coyotes here, and so I'll never get an outside excuse me, I'll never get an outside cat again. So now we have 2 indoor cats, and we lost all 3 of our dogs in the past 2 years due to age. We think for Rod's dog, and he was a big dog, and I can't think of the name. Oh, it was a Rottweiler. He was an outside dog. I could never have outside dogs. I just couldn't do it, and so I had 2 Chihuahuas. They were mixed with that and a mini pin, and so I lost Taco a year or 2 ago. He was having seizures, and we had him on medication and everything. But one day he just started having them back to back, and the medicine wasn't working, and couldn't get in to see the vet. So he passed away here at home. And then my dog Jasmine, she lived to be 12 years old, and she died here at home also, because I couldn't get any of the local vets to see her. But anyways, I don't want to talk about sad stuff. I just want to tell you about my animals, because they're like my little fur babies. And I thank you for joining me today. And I also thank you for subscribing and taking the time out of your day, you know, just to, you know, spend some time with me. And I hope that, you know, I can bring a little excuse me, a little joy to your day, or a little bit of inspiration, and you know, while I'm on my journey, because this, you know, was all new to me when I started in October, and since that time I've accumulated so much stuff. So I need to get on the ball, and you know, with the health issues and stuff, I hope I can get out as many videos as I can for you all, because I feel really bad when I can't. So again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.